that he know that Will Smith, Jaden, he Bryshere and he Meek Mills, and you know it, Bilal.
Bryshere Gray's mother is stolen by Jaguar Wright, who also reveals Diddy's $10 million deal. The relationship between Jaguar Wright and the mother of Bryshere Gray is completely non-existent, especially after Rico had just betrayed her and disclosed the $10 million deal she had made with Diddy to sell Bryshere Gray to him for freak-offs, and Diddy had gotten around those allegations. Bryshere Gray was duped into thinking Diddy was offering him a mentorship program, but according to Jaguar Wright, he was only used for his body and made to inhale an obscene amount for many years. He and his career were totally gone. In addition, he was blackballed and did not receive any of the $10 million that Diddy gave his mother in exchange for their son. He's leaned over and on top of a number of exposed men right now. People just ignored Riker when he tried to talk about what he was going through at the time and told him to keep making movies. Riker entered Will Smith's and Diddy's ownership. At the same time, moment the Empire was hit by his explosion, his life was radically altered when he met them through his then manager, Charlie Mack. Charlie wanted Diddy to help him with his music career, so he initially got Bryshere and Diddy together. The poor kid was doing everything but what he had been brought to accomplish, though even if Will helped him plan his acting career. According to Jaguar, Will's neighbors heard Wright, Bryshere Gray, Bryshere Gray, and Meek leaving his house after a violent freak-off session.
They're both violent. They do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bryshere Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Jaguar continued to leak information about Diddy and Will. In a shocking interview that followed, she accused Andrea Bryshere Gray's mother of being involved in the plot to sell Bryshere Gray to Diddy and Will. At first, it was thought that Charlie had no idea what was happening to Bryshere, but he was well aware that Andrea Bryshere's mother had agreed to let him give her away so that this industry people in exchange for financial gain. But here's the deal, everybody. Jaguar claims that Andrea got $10 million in exchange for Bryshere's surrender. Along with all that cash, Andrea intended to use the suffering of Bryshere Gray as inspiration for a novel she was writing. If Bryshere had gone through what he did, it would be a tragic story that people would want to hear from the mother's perspective.
And when I say Andy, I'm talking about Bryshere's mom. I'ma kick you in your pussy and then I'ma go to work North Philly style. You and Charlie, you happy now? He's a gay star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell? I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life and what you had to do with it. You C.I.
Jaguar revealed that Andrea had come to her begging for help with Bryshere. Furthermore, she specifically told Andrea to take Bryshere away from Charlie Mack since it was he who first introduced him to Diddy and Will. Andrea, however, ignored her counsel and allowed Diddy and Will to toy with her child and make him act strangely.
Do you feel this is...
That came to me and begged me for my help. I told her to get the away from Charlie. I did everything that I could do to get Bryshere, to help her get Bryshere out of California into Chicago safe, to be ready for filming. She knew he had been, she knew what Will did to him. But because of Charlie, see? And Charlie had promised her all kinds of things. And all she had to do was pretend to be a broken down single mom who worked her way up through the ghetto and raised a superstar for television, when the truth is she wasn't nothing but a dealer's. That's all she ever was. She went from dealer to dealer, and then she snitched on whoever she needed to snitch on until she could get to the bigger bag, until she got with Larry Lair, my friend who raised Bryshere in $1 million home. Your whole book is lies, Andy, and I hope anybody that bought it asks for a refund and demands it comes out of your pocket every time they see your son's gay. You and Charlie Mack.
As everyone knows, Bryshere Gray is currently making money by selling pictures of his poopy hole and videos of chicken, change while getting drilled by multiple men at once. Because they want everyone to think Bryshere is crazy so that when he sues Diddy and Will, no one will take him seriously because they would think he is mentally unstable. Jaguar claims they are backing Bryshere's new career as a gay porn star. Unfortunately, Bryshere Gray is one of the many victims who have been silenced by this mental illness hoax in the past. Jaguar even claimed that Will, Jaden, Diddy, Bryshere Gray, and Justin Bieber were secretly recorded going nuts.
They're trying to slay him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Okay.
I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor camp was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on, man. Come on.
Starting to sound that way, ain't it?
No.
All that talent, and she let Charlie tune that boy up on, knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a prostitute so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a filth. You're a big old and they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all. I'm sorry. The Bryshere conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Belial and I asked Belial to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about was his book.
In case you were wondering what lawsuit Jaguar was referring to a few months prior to Bryshere Gray's OFA career, beginning, there was a rumor that he was preparing to sue Diddy for $50 million. I suspect the soon-to-step-forward male victim of sex by this A-list mogul will not be the last man to do so. Sean Diddy Combs, read an LB line item. But just before this case became public, Bryshere Gray withdrew, and suddenly, after something clearly happened to make him change his mind, he began selling his cheeks. The situation became much more murky when Terrence Howard joined in and seemed to confirm that Bryshere's present actions are a result of his freak-offs with Diddy. He asserted in a recent interview that some young men were exploiting their position in the industry to get mentorships and acting contracts, and that everything changed when they allowed other men to sleep with them.
You know, but when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
We will simply have to wait till Bryshere is ready to come out and tell us the truth, even though it is clear that he is struggling a lot. As usual, many had their thoughts, and this person asserted that Orlando Brown was also impacted. But once he began conducting interviews and quitting narcotics, other people called him crazy. Some of what he says is accurate. This was one of those realities. This also applies to Raspy from B2K. This life might be filled with a great deal of sorrow, gloom, and sickness. I just pray to the Lord to heal them, that they can find out more about him. Another added, "This is terrible." He needs to sue for over $50 million. So gloomy. They make these young kids addicted in addition to harassing them. They literally destroy their life for their own selfish pleasure. But now I want to know what you think. What are your thoughts on Diddy allegedly touching Bryshere? Do you really think his mother got $10 million for him? Kindly leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Additionally, don't forget to click here to view this other wild video.